Today we are going to make an omelet. As you can see, I have right here the meat I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using turkey and ham for this omelet. You can use microwavable bacon, or you can use any type of bacon that you want. I prefer to use this just because of its convenience. It's hard to kind of fit in making an omelet during the middle of the day. So I also like to use cheeses. I use Colby and Monterey in a combination with Philadelphia cheese, cream cheese. This is a whole stick of butter, but we're not going to be using the entire stick. Instead, we're just going to be using a part of it to cook up these eggs. Now this yield is 2 portions, so that means it's going to be for 2 people. This is going to be for me and my sister, so that's why I have 6 eggs, 3 eggs for each omelet. And to start off, we're going to start by beating the eggs. So first, I'm going to crack an egg in here. To the side. So we're going to do 3 at a time. Okay. We're done with that. We're gonna beat these eggs. Or you can choose to season if you want. I just add a little salt and pepper just to give me a little bit of seasoning before I do anything. Right there. Just carry this. Once all beaten and everything like that, it's ready to go. You should have the toppings already finished because you want to prepare everything before it's done. And also you have the option to include the bacon into the omelet, or you can have it on the side. I prefer both. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take our butter here. We're gonna just cut a little piece off, like 2 tablespoons worth, about this much. It's about good. Actually, a little bit less than that. A little bit too much. Well, this amount's fine. This amount should be fine. Put that in there. Put on some heat. I'm gonna wait for that decondense. Okay. Now we're just gonna wait for this to go. Now we have this butter sizzling, and just add these eggs right on top of them, just like that. Okay. Now what's happening here is, on the bottom of the butter, the eggs are forming kind of like a circle-ish egg shape. That's what's happening here. As they cook, it'll form into this shape that we have it. And what you want to do here, the trick with making omelets, is after you coat it with butter, everything should be more malleable, meaning that you should be able to move it more and move it better. So you kind of just want to just do a little bit of this, where you're moving the eggs to the point of where the butter used to be. You want to cover more than you have. Go slowly, no rush here. Just like that. And then we're going to keep doing this until all this liquidy egg turns into solid egg. And that's how we'll start our omelet, and we'll start adding toppings when that happens. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the toppings onto this. Now you want to add the toppings kind of near the point when it's almost done cooking, but not so much. We're going to add those toppings. You can add whatever you want. I'm adding some honey glazed ham which I made the other day. Also combined with some regular ham, some regular turkey, and some bacon bits. So let's get started on that. And of course, our cheeses. We can actually start that way. So we're gonna put this on the lower heat. If anything, we can move it here, just for the move this here. So put it on a colder surface. All we gotta do now, it's almost done cooking, but it's not there yet. Take some of the cheese. We only want to put it on one side. One side. Doesn't matter which side, as long as it covers, you know, just some. Like this. Put some cream cheese on it now. Okay, we're gonna put little layers on this. Doesn't matter how much you put it. So we're just gonna do that. Do a little bit of that. Doesn't matter, because when it closes over like this, all of that stuff will come back on. The only reason it's a little messy is because it's cream cheese. So that's the only reason why. So as long as you have something like that, you should be fine. You don't want too much of it because you don't want it to overload, especially because you're going to add a lot of toppings. Wash my hands. Alright, now we're going to add the toppings. Always want to have clean hands while you're doing this. You don't want to cross-contaminate or anything like that. So, start by adding some toppings. This is just the turkey ham and the bacon bits. Okay. Now we're going to add some of this ham that I was talking about earlier. Honey glazed ham. It's a little bit sweeter, only because it was glazed with brown sugar. Okay, now when we're done with this, now we can finally complete the cooking. We're gonna put this back onto the heat. Okay, put it back onto the heat. Now we're gonna grab a spatula. And essentially, I'm gonna take one side. The butter allows us to essentially flip this omelet. This is what we're gonna need to do, like that. Now we put it back onto the heat. It's gonna start sizzling again. What I like to do in this process is, you know, just even add a little bit more butter, because what ends up happening is when we take the omelet to the side to add the toppings, there's all the butter kind of gets, you know, wasted, and then now we have to kind of restart the fire. So just put a little bit of butter, not too much, you know, just a little triangle or whatever. It doesn't matter how much you have, as long as it's under, right? And wait for that butter to melt. We're gonna kind of mix the omelet around. Okay, just kind of and what you also want to do is you kind of want to close these ends, because you're gonna have to flip and, you know, coat the other side with butter. And cook the other side. We're gonna get that butter all on the bottom of this, so we can have a nice sear on the bottom. Okay. Now, like I was saying, you kind of want to close the end, so, you know, it doesn't take much. All you gotta do is this. Hold it like that. It'll essentially do it for you. Egg was kind of made to do that. Do something like this. And now we can just wait until we flip. Okay? Now this is the tricky part. You can mess up your entire omelet this way, so you gotta be careful. This is where we're gonna flip. You wanna have solidified edges. Mine are not so solidified, so let's kind of like solidify them a little bit more. Just press down with some pressure. All you need to do. And do a really quick flip. So you kind of want to get under it, right? And then just do one of those. And now we're gonna cook the other side. Just a little bit more. Egg doesn't take much to cook, but I kind of like to see the sear with the butter on the outside. The caramelization, as you can see right here. I like the effect, I like the taste, I like all of it. So I'm gonna keep all of it. I'm gonna cook it this way. Now, at this stage right here, you're gonna want to get your plate. So, get a plate really quickly. Okay. Alrighty, and you don't need the spatula to move this onto your plate. After this part, you're basically done. So, you know, turn off heat. Kind of just slide it on here like this. Just like that. Kind of move it to the side. And now you have that, an omelet.